And welcome back to the All About Arsenal and the Arsenal Forecast. We are back, guys. We're one man down, though. I have to say, Vinny, shout out to you, mate. Unfortunately, his family member's not well, and he's looking after them in hospital. So we wish them all the best. But I do have, which way we go? We've got Josh, got Alex, who's cup of tea.
No, that's wrong.
And it's wrong.
Yeah.
It's weird because I've got it flipped, I think. So. But I hope everybody's well. But we're going to get into it today. We've got a couple of games to talk about. So we've obviously going to touch on the FA Cup because obviously it's the big one. Portsmouth, and we had a decent, solid result, even though not a lot of us could catch the game of where we were geographically and stuff. But and then we're going to touch on the disappointment of the Liverpool draw, which kind of thought we should have taken advantage of, but it wasn't a great game. But we're going to get into that. We'll touch on that as well. But how are you guys? You both all right? Josh, you good?
Oh, I'm both all right. Both me and me.
He's both
We're
right.
fine.
And Alex, you good?
Yeah, I'm all good. Yeah, good.
Good. Have you slept much?
Yeah, I've managed to actually sleep a little bit this weekend. It was a tough week, and then managed to catch up a bit this weekend. The boys doing all right, but yeah,
it's hard
yeah,
work.
it's brilliant. It's brilliant. That's what everyone says.
Doesn't get easier.
Cheers, Josh.
Oh my god. And anyone joining us, obviously in the chat box today, obviously there's normally four of us, there's three of us today, but get your questions in, say hello in the comments, we'll shout you out, we'll have a chat, we'll tell us all about what you're thinking about Arsenal. But the forecast really designed is get a few different opinions on how Arsenal's doing, how we're finding the games, how we feel the weekend went. And I think it's almost want to go backwards to go forwards, because obviously Liverpool, I suppose we should probably start there because of the Martinelli thing for me, to come on to kind of all of that stuff. But the Liverpool game, I mean, obviously from the previous week, I was so ready for it. I was really confident. We were playing at home, revenge, we're on form. We just smashed, a lot of teams apart. And Liverpool haven't been on great form properly for a while. I mean, expectations for me was very much going to be a win, and we predicted 4-1 for me, 3-1 for Josh. Alex had a 3-0 and Vinny had 3-2. So we're all very positive on what we expected the results to be, which it's probably the most disappointed I've been actually all season, because I really wanted revenge.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh, painful. But and it felt a lot worse than I think it actually was, because you go actually looking back at it, you take a point.
Yeah,
and luckily, to a certain extent, we weren't too affected by the Man City result, the Aston Villa drew, so actually we were pretty fortunate in how it all kind of happened, really. But Josh, I mean, what was your take on the game, mate? Just to touch on that and thoughts and.
Obviously, I went into the game quite positive, thinking that we were going to, there was going to be some goals and that we would sort of walk it. I spoke to, as you know, like my father-in-law, he's a Liverpool fan, and so's his brother, who I work with. And I spoke to him the night before, and they were both thinking we're going to get smashed here, because even though Liverpool had been on this or still are on I think 8 or 9 games unbeaten, but there's a lot of draws in there and a lot of pretty poor performances. But positive going into it. First half, I thought we looked okay, but it's that age-old thing. We just don't seem to be taking our chances, and I don't know. I really don't know what's going on with Gyökeres. I'm trying to stay positive with him and back him, but at the same time, I sort of think maybe you're just not good enough. And then you hear of the comments that have been made about Havertz, like from Arteta, saying like how they missed him in terms of his intellect of the game, and his movement, his link up play, and that's all the things that we miss when Gyökeres is playing. He doesn't seem to be able to get a touch.
He's actually crazy.
I think there's a case to be made of the defenders are man marking him, so he's having to then create that space, but at the same time, he's just standing next to him all the time. Like, he's like,
That's
there
the
were so
problem,
many
isn't it?
times. There were so many times in the game, even in the first half, when we were a little bit more positive, that he was just sort of like walking around, and I just sort of thought, what are you doing? Like, you're the one that needs to, be proactive in the way that you're playing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just starting to get really disappointing with him. And in some respects, it's good that Havertz is coming back. Obviously, Jesus looks, or Jesus, he's looking quite sharp.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it might be the kick up the backside that he needs to sort of get him start to firing. Really, I do think, moving on sort of just briefly onto the Portsmouth game, I sort of said that he was going to get a hat trick. Obviously, he didn't even play, but in some respects, I feel like Arteta's missed a trick there, because I feel like that would have been the perfect game for him, because he could have probably bullied their centre backs. He could have,
Yeah.
got a couple of goals, and that would have done the world of good for his confidence. Whereas he's sitting on the bench
Yeah.
getting pissed on with rain, and probably the Portsmouth fans as well.
Yeah, probably.
But it's one of them. Going back to the Liverpool game, second half we were atrocious. It was so weird, because we've been so good in second halves of late, in terms of scoring goals, being positive coming out, second half, and just going for it. And it was kind of like the complete opposite. It was more like first half we actually, looked like we were going for it, but nothing came from anything. There was no sort of, even though we were sort of a bit more threatening, there was no sort of clear cut chances. I'd have said, and I think that goes with Liverpool as well. Obviously they didn't have a shot on target. Okay, they hit the bar and stuff like that. So some people would argue
They
that
had a 0 XG, didn't they? 0 XG, and I think that's
yeah.
Well, the stat I heard, Josh, was 2010 was the last time they've had a no shot on target, which is mad.
Yeah.
So when you're looking for that respect, you go, okay, defensively, but I actually thought there was some good bits.
But there was just no urgency, was there, in terms of closing the ball down? But actually, again, going back to Gyökeres, so the amount of times that he, in the second half, when he was still on the pitch, is tracking back and stuff, and is trying to hound the ball. It was just pointless. It was what's he even on the pitch for? And it's so disappointing. Like I say, it's so disappointing, because I've tried to be a bit of an advocate for him. There's a lot of negative talk around him, and I've tried to sort of be positive around him, but I've kind of lost the will to live now.
I know we did a lot, but I think all of us during that game, we were texting. I was one going, we're going to score second half, 45, 60 minutes. I was like, it's what we've been doing. And then we come out so bad. The first half I thought was actually all right. And I think Saka was having some good moments down the wing, put some good balls in. Trossard at a moment. But like we said, we just couldn't finish and we weren't clinical. But the second half, they come out and it was just a different team. It's just like they'd switched off completely. I couldn't kind of get my head around it, to be honest with you. But I think just the overall disappointment of it. But Alex, obviously second half was shocking, and then you had the Martinelli incident. What did you think of that? Because I was a little bit disappointed in him at the time, I'll be honest, because I'm a massive Martinelli fan. And I thought it was really uncharacteristic, but I've heard quite a lot since. So I'm interested to see what your take is, mate.
So, if I wasn't an Arsenal fan, I would have been absolutely fuming with what he did. But I am annoyed with how he acted. But looking from his perspective, and I don't know, did you? What was it? Frimpong, right? Frimpong went down when they were on the attack. He dived. He went down and he lied on the floor for probably a couple of minutes. Van Dijk then had to go at Rice because we never kicked the ball out.
Yeah,
and they were wasting time. And and then Frimpong ends up going off the pitch, going off the side, walking on fine, comes straight back on, running about, and it's like, well, what was all that about? And I don't know if like there was a little bit of time wasting, like sitting on the floor quite a bit from Liverpool. I know that we like to waste time as well, but I think that maybe if he'd known he was genuinely injured, he would never have done what he did. Right?
Yeah,
But,
I agree.
and he's come straight out and apologised about it. You can't really do much else. But I think, like, Jesus Christ, like the hounding of him, like afterwards, and what all the pundits were saying, I think it was Roy Keane saying that, or Gary Neville, like, I would have taken a red card, like for like gone for him, like for what he's just done, all that, like. We watched some of the Man United games like years ago, and what they did, and then someone was like putting a picture up of Roy Keane doing the exact same thing what Martinelli done to an injured player on the ground. Like you all done the same thing. Like it's
what Kettle comes to mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, but it was wrong. It was wrong what he did. But like we're saying, he's not that sort of player. And yeah, and he can't do much else than apologise about it.
No, I think
which
it's
is
kind of
annoying.
done from that, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
That's all you can.
Yeah, that's it. But I agree with everything Josh said as well. By the way.
Yeah. No,
I know we're supposed to have a difference of opinion about stuff, but
we can, we can't, we agree, we don't agree. It's all part of it. But sometimes you're going to match up, mate, on what people think. But I mean, what made me laugh, I actually thought Frimpong was probably one of their better players on the day.
He was. He looked bright.
Yeah.
Oh God, when he came on, when Skelly came on, I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
And he did. He beat him quite a few times.
Yeah. I mean, Frimpong was a lot quicker than I expected. He looked like he was just casually jogging, and Skelly's like running back, and I was like, Jesus Christ, is he that quick?
He's rapid.
Yeah,
he's quick.
Is he quite short? He looks like a short player to me.
He's small, yeah.
He's about 4'11".
He's borderline dwarf. Yeah, like it's crazy, like how crazy, how quick he was. But yeah, Skelly struggled. We all text going, "Oh, this don't look good. This don't look a good matchup at all." Like, it's a real shame. Obviously, we had another injury, but I think that was a potential hamstring, which I think we're still waiting to hear what the outcome of that is for Nketiah. So yeah, it's just typical, isn't it? But I think we've got to be careful. I think we rested a lot of players, obviously, for the Portsmouth game, which is good. I'm glad they rotated quite heavily, which we should be in, a team, lower down, no disrespect, but we should be winning that game, and comfortably, which we did, in the end. But, there was a 3 minutes in and they popped up and scored a goal. And you think, oh, bloody hell. That's just typical. I mean, details and scorers and stuff on it, I've got some of the bits on here. But, I mean, I think, Alex, you're the main one who was watching the game, I think, at the time, because I was struggling where I was to find a place to watch it because of the location. But, Josh recorded and watched it back. But you were watching it live, mate, I think, weren't
you? Yeah, I watched, I was busy with my son for like the last 20 sort of minutes, but so I saw most of the first half, and quite a chunk of the second half, and I thought I thought we were quite disappointing in the first half, like with the players that were being given a chance to do things, like we said a couple of weeks ago about Wanyeri. Coming in, and maybe he's just a bit rusty, and he hasn't had much game time, but he played a couple of passes that went straight out for throw-ins, and he didn't look as bright as he has been. And Eze he was disappointing.
People said,
for me,
ghosted, really, wasn't he? I didn't really see him get on the ball that much.
Yeah,
really. Didn't really do anything, did he? I mean, I must say, I slightly differ with Nwaneri in that the bits that I saw, I recorded it and watched it back. I did sort of fast forward a few bits, but like the bits that I saw, I actually thought it didn't look too bad, like in terms of his touch, and like there was a few passes that I thought, that's pretty good, pretty progressive. But yeah, the Eze I thought was it was sometimes it looked like he wasn't even there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that's not good though. It's quite worrying in a way and disappointing. What's happened with Eze. I mean, he's obviously there's been a drop off. He's kind of been saved for a game like this to see him play and to then not play great and disappear almost. This is his opportunity. Odegaard's back and playing really well. This is kind of where he seems to be more centrally. I don't see Eze now going much on the left because you've got Martinelli's obviously just had an absolute blinder, and Trossard's been locked
Trossard's
down.
in form.
Yeah. So I don't kind of see where he's going to be unless he's just an option off the bench for now. And it is a bit like that. It's very competitive, which is a lovely problem to have. And obviously then we've seen, Jesus start a game. Obviously, I know he assisted one of the goals for Martinelli, which was, I think, the second goal.
That was a ball. That was a really good assist. That was quick thinking. That was Skelly as well. It was quick thinking, free kick. They were asleep. Quick thinking, and then a superb ball from Jesus to the back post.
Yeah, across the back
and Martinelli with the drive to get on the end of it.
Yeah, that's good. He's watching the ball. It's where you want your centre forward to be.
Exactly.
In that respect, So
that was the Liverpool game. No one was there when that ball was coming across. No one was there. The amount of times it went across, and no one was on. And you thought if someone was there, that was a tap in. And but
easiest type of goal. Yeah. And I think the image I saw, because I watched Match of the Day last night when we got back, and you saw as soon as that free kick happened, Portsmouth turned their back to the ball, walking away, and that's when the free kick happened. It was like bang, bang, and goal. And you're like, poor for them, but it might be again just the level as well that we're playing against. But it was it was impressive what we managed to do and turn around, and it turned into a first 2-3 minute, them scoring, which I imagine they would have been absolutely buzzing just to score. For us to then to turn it around, obviously own goal turned up as well and scored to settle the nerves. And then
that was a scrappy goal. I
think Norgard was in the thick of it, wasn't he? And it was a bit crazy, but fair play.
It was scrappy. It's instant reply pretty much. And I think we scored. I think we had 3 corners and we scored from all of them.
Yeah. I think own goal, then 2 Martinelli, which is unusual for Martinelli to jump up. Both goals very similar. Nice little flick in the back of the head, I think, was the other one.
Yeah, the second one, he was the second header, he didn't even look. Yeah,
it's bizarre.
He's facing the other way.
Another Gabriel who's threatening on set pieces. So, I'll take it,
Yeah.
We,
100%.
But we looked really dominant on that side of things. So I'm happy with the result, an expected result, in fairness. And we move on, and they'll be doing a draw. The draw might be while we're on here. I'm not actually sure what time.
I think it was
already happened.
No, it's already happened. Yeah.
Oh God, who
Wigan at home. We're at home. I think it's Wigan.
Wigan.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure
Wigan all day long.
We play them in the final one year.
Yeah. I think we went 1-0 down and beat them. I think that was Ramsey. Was that when Ramsey scored?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if it was Wigan or if it was Hull or someone like that. I can't remember now. He's going back.
I think it was Wigan. Yeah.
I'll
look it up. But yeah, so let's have a look if I can find it quickly, because it's always interesting. But again, it's a great result for us.
Well, I think it's good to be at home. Regardless of who you're playing. I know with obviously the smaller clubs from the lower leagues and stuff, they love it when obviously a big Premier League team goes to their place. But I think it's always good to get that home draw. I think at these sorts of stages, and I think that's what might benefit us against Chelsea in the 2 legs, is the fact that we've got the
second leg at home.
Second leg,
yeah. I think you're right.
Well, obviously, you've got Chelsea Thursday, which I just again want, following obviously the draw, the 10-man, we kind of want to go and I think make a statement again on Wednesday and just kind of get a head start, even if it's a 1-0 we take at home. I'd take
that. Yeah,
that'd be fine all day long. So the last time we played Wigan, it was a 1-1, April 2014. We won 4-2 on penalties, and that was at Wembley Stadium at the time. But that was in the semi-final. That was
semis.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to see if it gives me the score as Per Mertesacker, equaliser, with an Arsenal header. There you go.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting because obviously Mertesacker, you see the news today for him about stepping down end of the season.
Yeah.
No,
So yeah,
really,
come up.
that's a shame because
Yeah.
he's done well in that position, hasn't he? So
He's been incredible. I think he's been there since he basically stopped playing, and he's
Yeah.
been with the youth team for a
well,
long time.
he's definitely
Done
been
great
there
things.
as long as Arteta's been in the job.
For sure, and I think it's a big loss. I haven't really looked and read into where he's going, what he's doing, at the moment. But I don't know if it's just a case of a change of direction, a bit of a change coming out the youth bit. I'll have to do some more reading up on it. But I just saw a highlight pop up today, so it's a shame because I quite liked him as a player, to be fair.
Yeah.
But
It's brilliant.
different era. But no, we move on from it. But it's interesting because I know we spoke last time. Quick maths, all that kind of stuff. I couldn't add things up, and I know Vinny's going to be trying to watch from the hospital as well. So I will share this with you because obviously we'd had results, which was our first show was all the Christmas results, and then we've had the last couple of results, so Liverpool, Portsmouth, and this is how the table looks. So have a check it out, lads. So in first place we have Alex on 60 points.
Oh, 60
Mate, fair play.
points.
Fair play. You get to bite everyone around next time we see each other. No,
Nice.
but we're going to continue, mate, to the end of the season. But me and Josh are drawing on 50 points each. Most of this, in fairness, is we've all had the right results. Vinny just lost his way because he picked an Everton draw, I think it was. He put
Yeah.
1-1 for an Everton draw, which he lost out the score. So the way we're scoring this is if you get the right result, it's 10 points. If you get the right scoreline, it's 10 points. But if you get a goal scorer, we said it would be 10 points or 20 points. No one's got a goal scorer at all yet, so it'll be interesting to see how it develops. But obviously we'll do some predictions on Chelsea, and also we've got Nottingham Forest coming up as well. So they're the two games I think we're going to have before next Monday, and then we're going to be playing Inter Milan. So we'll do some predictions for that, which is next Tuesday.
Cool.
So that's a big game.
I guess
It's big in the sense of. Sorry,
Oh, sorry, it's four away games in 10 days, isn't it?
Yeah, all different competitions and all that kind of stuff.
Mm.
It's all a bit strange. Let me just try and put us back together, see if it messes up again. It just changes it all. We've moved. It's the shuffle. I can't bother to change it. But
It's like
we've got
the cups, isn't it? You got to see who goes where, and the ball's underneath the cup.
Where are we going to be? Vinny, now pick. We're going to change it. But if anyone's in the chat wants to kind of get involved, ask us questions, get your predictions in, we're going to be talking about, obviously, Chelsea's a big game. Obviously, Vinny, I'll get your results. If you're listening, you can put them in the comments, but also you can text me after. It's fine, mate. But obviously, we'll start with Alex. He's in the middle, man with a plan. We're going to go look at predictions. Are you looking at expected kind of changes in lineups? Obviously, from Portsmouth, yes, I expect, but much change from the weekend. Or
I reckon it'll be similar to Portsmouth. It's a cup game. I reckon Kepa's going to be in goal.
Yeah. Okay. Agree, Josh?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he's been in goal. Pretty sure he's been in goal the whole of the
Yeah.
But
it'll be interesting.
He's ex-Chelsea. Yeah.
Yeah, it is true. Ex-Chelsea.
I didn't think he did too much wrong against Portsmouth.
No.
But yeah, but it's a big game. If you want to get into the final,
where he parried it out.
Yeah.
Straight to one of their players. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a bit of rust on his part, maybe not playing in a game environment, even though he's training every day? Let's be honest. Surely you just put it out the way. Get it off.
Well, I feel like he could have actually held it. To be fair, it wasn't that. It wasn't that far away.
Yeah.
He was sort of like in a bit of a ball and went like that. It's like just catch it. You got hands for a reason.
I'm just going to jump in because while we've got comments on there, I'm going to just pop this on there as well from this is the Inner Temple. Great name. It says, do you think Martinelli should be tested at centre forward? He presses well, good in the air, and can finish. True story.
I thought he was going to say something like, do you think he should be tested for like ADHD or something?
I don't think he went there.
It was only because his name's the Inner Temple. I thought it was all spiritual and kind of
like. Is he spiritual? Well, we don't know. We'll find out. But it's an interesting.
I think
question.
actually, him going through the middle, you tend to see him a bit more centrally when he comes on as a sub, like, and we have these like breaks, we try and get people on the counter attack. So
Yeah.
he can play that role, and it was talked about like years ago when he sort of first came on the scene, of him being more of a central like striker, but then obviously with injuries and sort of the lack of form that he had after that, it kind of got quashed a little bit. But I personally, I could see him, playing a role like up top, but he'd need to, improve his finishing. I know he's got a hat trick, but in general, his finishing's not been great over the last sort of 2 seasons.
But he has been better this season, and as in decision
Yeah,
making's been better,
yeah,
isn't it? Champions League especially, he's been decent in finishing. It seems to be. I think the stat was after this game, because he's not been playing all the time. I think he was scoring a goal kind of every 45 minutes. He's now our top scorer against overall competitions, which I thought was quite good. When you look at the amount he's played, so it's a good return for us. No complaints. Drop me pen. And but yeah, I think that's a huge thing. But I could see him playing for the middle. I don't think they will, but I think it's good if he travel more centrally.
Yeah,
they won't, because we played Marino through the middle. They were. I said it like last year. Why wouldn't you just put Martinelli through the middle when Havertz got injured? And there's a reason why they don't. He's more effective on the wing, and he tracks back. He tracks back. He's good. He's got great defensive work, and you don't want that from a centre forward.
No, it's true. He does love him for that reason.
I think as well, like with the way that Arteta sets his team up, he likes to have someone that's got a bit more of a presence about them in terms of holding the ball up. Obviously, Havertz is a bit of a lump, isn't he? Jesus isn't a lump, but he can hold the ball up really well.
He can hold the ball.
He's stronger than he looks. Do you mean?
Nice. And then that's why I think he goes for Marino, because he can hold the ball up. He's a bit more physical.
Hold it up and lay it off.
The only thing, I mean, he's getting better, but I do get annoyed with Marino when he goes down so bloody easy, because he's a big guy. And I just think, just stand your ground, and you'd probably do better off for it.
Yeah.
The same with that's for a lot of players.
There was a few bits in the Portsmouth game where I saw him, do a few little skills and stuff like that, and he has got good close control. And I mean, he's a left footer, so I'm left footed, so I sort of have a bit of a soft spot for any left footer, really. But I quite like him. I think he's good.
I mean,
if anything, I thought he was probably our best player against Portsmouth.
Yeah, I've heard some positive comments about him because he was playing the 6 sort of role, wasn't he?
Yeah, so he was quite deep,
definitely. And he held his own, and it was just a shame, like I say, the others in front of him. When Yeri is the midfield wasn't maybe as strong. It was very attacking when you look at the kind of the way it was set up, which was good. So, but it's just a shame. There we go. But yeah, it's one of those things. But it'll be interesting to see if they do set up, similar.
I'd love to see him go through the middle, Martinelli. I'd love to see him going through the middle.
Interesting. We'll watch this space. Maybe after the weekend scoring 3, they might go, okay, go and do your thing. But I think there might be a case. I don't know if they start Gyökeres again because he's had a full 90 moss. I can't. At this stage, I've kind of given up a bit. I'm like, just next year, it's fine. Or come on and do last 20 minutes and just run your legs off and hold the ball up and do what you do.
I think there's possibly a case for that, though, isn't there? A case for he's not really been tried as a sub yet, has he? He's not been. He's not started on the
only when he came back from injury
like an impact player. I mean, he might. If he's. If he's got this sort of pace and power, which I haven't seen yet, really, if I'm honest, I've not seen this sort of like pacey. He's beaten anyone for pace, has he? Really?
The touch ain't there.
But maybe when the defenders have got a few tired legs, he could come on and maybe boss them about a bit. I don't know, but
true. Well,
I personally don't think the Chelsea game is the game to be changing things around. I think we've got to go in it to win it, to get a good result, so that it sort of it creates a slightly better atmosphere and everything going into the second leg, at home. It sort of takes the pressure off a little bit if we can get a really good result there. 1-2-0, I think would be ideal.
For sure, and you've got obviously this new manager, obviously at Chelsea, which was it Ryan? I can't think of his last name.
Liam Rosenior.
Oh, Liam. Why am I saying
Rosenior.
Liam Rosenior, yeah. And I saw him doing some bits in the media, and he's very confident and certain of himself, which is like you're going to be, aren't you? And look, I think let's see what happens. But obviously, he's come in from another team that they own, and I don't know. I think he's a yes man, but proof's in the pudding. He's got a lot to prove in the Premier League. It's not easy just jumping in, and it's not his team at the moment either. So, but he's got a lot of good players. They're a good team, Chelsea, and they were doing all right. Do you know what I mean? So it's just they dropped away since they played us. Their form had dropped like completely.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they'll
Sound
turn
like
up,
Liverpool.
Yeah, exactly. So we've given them we seem to resuscitate teams and be like, boop, we'll come back.
But I think that goes back to the comment that I've made several times now on this
Cup
podcast and our one, in that we are everyone's cup final. That's when they turn up.
Yeah.
That's when they I mean, you think like Liverpool over the years have never really played like a low block or anything like that, and yet when we played them on Thursday, they were pretty much playing like that. They were very
toothless,
rarely had like an outlet, that was, or their only outlet really was Frimpong, because he's a little midget that's really quick.
Even that, didn't you find like he could have? I'm sure he could have scored. He got all the way to the goal and then passed it back, and I'm like, what is he doing? This is crazy. I don't know what is going on. Vinny's trying to get onto the stream. I don't think he can, but he's struggling to see. It's probably your signal, Vinny. I'd guess, if you can see us. But but going back to predictions, then. So let's go, Alex and Chelsea. So we're looking at score prediction, mate. Who you think could score? Bearing in mind what the lineup and would be, and anyone watching. So we've got quite a few people watching. Obviously, welcome your comments. As you see, we'll happily answer them. But also, if you want to put your thoughts, predictions against Chelsea, what you want to see in the lineup, or just questions for the cast of the forecast. So, but Alex, mate, fire away.
2-1 Arsenal at Chelsea, I think.
2-1. Any particular goal scorer you got in mind?
Martinelli.
Hey, I mean, he's not proper. I mean, it's a good.
He's not even going to start Martinelli. He's going to be on the bench. He's not going to get used. They're going to try Eze on the left.
Eze's on the left, Gyökeres in the middle, or Marino.
Maybe
Lewis Kelly up front. We don't know.
Yeah.
Josh, mate, your thoughts on predictions?
I think he'll start probably, our strongest available 11. I think like what Alex was saying in terms of Kepa being in goal, I could see it, but I don't know if it's a good move or not.
I don't think it is. Yeah.
I think you'd be better off starting Raya, especially the fact that he's had a rest this weekend. I would start Raya in goal. In terms of result, I think it'll be 1-0 to us.
Yep. Okay.
Goal scorer, I'm gonna say Rice.
Nice, Rice. Okay. Oh, well, I was kind of almost going on the same vibe, Josh, of maybe a 1-0 or something like that. But I'm trying to be positive. I'll go. As the usual 2-0. I'll go 2. I don't want us conceding. I do. I mean, 1-0. I think is probably the right call for this kind of game. And who do I see scoring? That's the tricky one.
Is it an own goal?
I did think that. Can that be a choice? Owen goal, yeah. I mean, he's one of the top scorers. He's got 5 so far this season.
Yeah.
So
he's got more than Saka.
Well, yeah. I think in all comps, I think he's matching, isn't he, with Saka? But I think Martinelli's up to 9. I think it's like all comps is not bad. But for goal scorers, I'm going to go. And I don't know if they're going to go this way. It depends, because Saka's realistic, I think, will start now because he's had a rest as well, doesn't he? So do we go Saka? I don't know if Noni will come in, but I'm going to put Saka.
I mean, if I wasn't going to go Rice, I would have gone either Saka, Trossard, or Big Gabby if it's a 1-0 corner.
You could see it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's some good choices because it's hard to pick now because actually we're scoring again all over the place from that side of things. So yeah, it's a positive. It really is. So we'll see. And then obviously going on to the weekend, we've got Nottingham Forest on Saturday. It's the 5:30
Forest away.
kickoff. Forest away. I mean, obviously they're not being in the best of form still, but they've been picking up the odd result.
Yeah, you know
I
they're going to
feel
be up
like
for
they
that, don't you?
picked it up a bit, and yeah, they'll turn it on against us. So
Oh,
Still
yeah.
Doherty
expected.
likes playing against us, doesn't he?
Oh God,
Yeah.
when he was Burnley
Bloody set.
manager, yeah,
Away is the bloody way. I mean, if we're going on recent results, obviously they won their last match out against West Ham, so it was 2-1, and they've lost in the preceding games before that for the last 4 games from what I can see.
Oh
As a
really?
quick overview, we drew the last game obviously against Liverpool, but we've won obviously the last 4 games for that.
Yeah,
So we are the
yeah,
better team on form. We're top of the league. You can't forget this. We know we're
yeah.
6 points flying. They are circling kind of relegation zone, but they're above
What
it
they
by 7 points.
16th?
So
Yeah,
they're 17th sat at the moment,
17th. Yeah.
with 21 points, but the nearest is West Ham and they're 14 points. So they've got
Mm.
a good gap at the moment. But it should be a team that we are going there comfortably and beating realistically. I don't know if we have a look at head-to-head form maybe and stuff like that. I can check that out because
Oh, I wouldn't.
that's awesome.
I wouldn't look
No,
at that. That'd put
not
you off.
historic. Should we
They've
check
been a
it
bit
out
of a
just for
bogey
fun?
team, haven't they, for us, to be fair?
I'm looking at. I'm going for it head-to-head. Let's see what comes up. Let me go back. So it
Away
only
as well.
showed.
We've not done too well against them, have we? I don't think, since they've been up.
No, exactly. Head to head to Arsenal. Oh, it's not playing ball. There we go. Head to head. So the last 5 games it's got here: Arsenal 3-0, a draw at Nottingham Forest last year. So
Yeah.
we drew last year, but it was a different team, as well. 2024 at home we beat them 3-0. Away we beat them 2-1, and then that last match it shows me then it was 2-1. So when we're playing each other, the last time they beat us was in 23 at home, so that was 1-0. So we're a much better team now. They're a much worse team, I think. So it's got to be a positive. It's got to be a win. Where do you want to go with it? Start with Josh this time.
Yeah. Oh, well, I am going to be positive from it. I'm going to say 3-1.
Okay. 3-1. Yeah.
Goal scorer. Jesus.
Jesus. Okay. Nice. Yeah, mate. I think he's due some goals. He's been one of the big things that we're talking about was the expected goals since Jesus has started has gone up, and it's something like 3 xg or something like that, and we've scored then more goals. So the xg stuff doesn't lie over time. It really does show off. But I think him starting just shows you how much more of a creative player he is, and all for it. So if he starts and Havertz slowly starts integrating back in, because he was looking bright from the highlights I'd seen, was good 15-20 minute
Yeah, to be
cameo.
fair, Havertz did look pretty good when he came on. Like,
Yeah.
again, I kind of go back to the comment that Arteta made about his sort of movement and kind of intelligence. And there was a ball that he put through for it might have been Noni Madueke, I think, and it was just really nice. It was it was just one of them where you go, yeah, cool,
Slick. He's back. But we do need something a bit more like experience. He's still young, but he's got his football knowledge is good. He's got an older soul kind of thing, I think, and he will be good for us. And it just gives us a different option that the other teams, the other half of the year, haven't seen, again, because we've been playing with Gyökeres mainly. So to have a few different
I
options off
also
the
think
bench.
with Havertz, I feel like he's fully invested into Arsenal.
Yeah,
in terms
I'd
of
agree.
I think he's the only Arsenal player that was in Odegaard's best men people. I don't know if you've seen the image,
Yeah.
but all his family and stuff like that. And then there's Havertz.
Yeah, they're proper close, aren't they? So they will link
Yeah,
up well, straight away.
So I just
And,
feel I just feel
and
like
Odegaard's probably
that's
playing better than he was since Havertz has started, I think.
Yeah.
I think Odegaard's actually beyond where when he played with Havertz, it wasn't his best seasons, because Havertz has been here 2 seasons plus this one. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then that's where Odegaard didn't have a bit of an off season, had the injury, and then he's kind of back. So it'd be interesting to see how that relationship on the field develops, I suppose, as well.
Yeah.
But I'll take it, Josh. So 3-1, Jesus to score. Nice. Alex, mate, what are you thinking against Nottingham Forest?
I'm going for a shaky 1-0.
Shaky. Okay.
Shaky
Why
1-0.
shaky,
I
mate?
think.
When
No,
you
I think
got
it'll be like 1-0 after like 60 minutes, and then half an hour of are they going to get an
Exam time.
equaliser? Yeah.
Oh God, I hope not, mate. I can't take it.
Yeah, I hope not as well, but they've been doing that to us recently. So
they're just going to be a deep block kind of thing, and see if they can counter and all the usual stuff that everyone seems to do. That's why I think I like European football, i.e. the Champions League more, because they played for it. Even Portsmouth actually played. There's
yeah,
more
they
space
did.
for us to play with.
Yeah.
Why can't teams just come for us rather than go, now we're just going to sit back and be boring, so it's hard for us to attack. But I'd rather, like the Aston Villa, the back and forth. I much prefer that kind of game and be like, oh God, up in your seat
Yeah. Oh,
both ways.
yeah, it's brilliant to watch.
Yeah, it's so much more
it's a
entertaining.
lot more enjoyable, isn't it?
Yeah.
For sure. Alex, goal scorer? Who are you thinking? With your sketchy 1-0, who's going to score quick?
Who's going to score? Gabriel.
Magalhaes. Gabriel.
Magalhaes.
Magalhaes. I mean, he's back. He's such a different force when he's on. Oh, okay. I think we're going to, I think we're going to have a solid game. I'm going to go 3-0. I don't think we're going to concede. I think we're defensively, I think we're going to have Saliba, Gabriel back, aren't we? I think there's going to be, is it going to be Ben White and Timber? I think they might go that way with this kind of game. And maybe even with Chelsea, possibly. Odegaard's going to be back in the middle. I think you're going to have Zubimendi, Rice, Trossard's probably back on, Martinelli, Jesus to start, Saka. I think that's generally the next 2 games. I think it's going to be very similar to that. But we're going to vote on Havertz is going to come on, Martinelli's going to come on. That's kind of how I see it. Nonny maybe, because Nonny, I thought he had some good bits. He missed the penalty, didn't we talk about? But he did miss the penalty, which wasn't great. To be fair,
that was a bad miss.
It was a bad miss. I don't know. I don't know if I like the little slow run ups.
A little run up,
Smash it on target. Done. So,
if you're going to miss, make sure the keeper saves it. Don't miss.
No, exactly.
Hit the target.
Yeah, it's a bit schoolboy, isn't it?
100%. You get paid a lot of money to just hit the net on target as a minimum requirement, I think. But my goal scorer, I need to pick someone. Where's the unexpected goal going to come from? Jesus Gabriel's taken. I really would love to see. I'm going to put Odegaard just because I want him to see him scoring again, because he was finding feet. Or it could be a Havertz. Okay, Odegaard. Odegaard. Now we'll see. Vinny, obviously, if he's watching, text scores, mate. He did text me saying the hospital Wi-Fi is rubbish. You can't get onto the stream, so it is what it is. But we'll add you on, mate. Don't you worry. We're not going to forget you. But you are last place at the moment. Just to remind you, if you're watching it back. But no, it's all good. So looking quite positive, I think. We're still doing well, and obviously it's January. Any other kind of rumours? Because the only thing I wanted to touch on was obviously the Mark Gahey kind of rumours. I don't know if you can kind of list in. It's interesting. So he doesn't want to go now.
He's a great defender, isn't he? And I think he'd make any top team starting 11. But do I see him, because he's on the left side, do I see him starting in front of Big Gabby? No.
I don't think he's going to start, mate. He's a squad. It'll be a squad rotational.
But he isn't going to want to. He isn't going to want to come to us.
Yeah.
And be
Why are you going to want to sit on the bench? Yeah.
I agree. I think it's really odd. It threw me like he wants to potentially go to Arsenal.
Having said that, he was, obviously the big thing was him going to Liverpool in the summer, and he'd be then taking over Van Dijk's role, wouldn't he? Because that
makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So it's one of them. Like if you was to play a back 3, for instance, he'd be a quality on the left side, Big Gabby in the middle, Saliba on the right. But we don't play like that, so I don't think I've ever seen us set up with a back 3. No. So not
when you look at wing backs,
not under Arteta anyway.
No.
So I just
Could
don't
happen.
see it really as much as I think it would be a great signing, especially if we got him on a free in the summer.
I mean, it's good business,
I mean,
if you're willing to wait.
be immense. But that whole left side, we've got it kind of locked down, haven't we? I mean, Calafiori, I think's brilliant. He's just got to stay fit. Hincapié will probably, do his buy clause, for
like
the loan.
sign, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I think so. He's played
Yeah,
that
I think so.
and then you've got Lewis Skelly. Okay, he's been, a little bit
I
below
want to get him
par
out of defence.
from last season, but that's just probably minutes.
I want to see him
yeah,
midfield, mate. I want to see him back his usual position. I think for Lewis Skelly, I think it's time to go. You've experimented, used him for a year. He's broke out great. He's got the contract. Now let's push him towards being like a DM or something like that. I think as a backup.
Yeah,
where
I could see him being that sort of Zubamendi, backup. For him in terms of like giving him a bit of a rest and playing Lewis Skelly there, because I feel like he's got that. He's got the passes. He's got the close control. He can roll players quite easily. He just needs to work on his defensive attributes because he's a bit weak sometimes.
Yeah, I think he's down that side though. I think
I feel like he doesn't read the game in that position. He doesn't read the game very well. It might be different if he played more centrally, but
it'd be an interesting. I mean, I would like to try. But it's when to try these experiments, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it a pre-season thing? Is it a cup games? But we're kind of progressing quite quickly into these, very quickly.
Yeah. Well, I think like I've said before, I think we should try and win it all. What's to say that we can't? Everyone's sort of saying that we're favourites for the league, but why can't we win the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup and even the Champions League? Like, there's nothing to say that we can't do it all.
We've got the squad depth this season.
The whole point of having this big squad, wasn't it?
Yeah. We have genuinely got the squad. We've got literally covering in most positions, bar the injuries, but actually we're coming out towards the middle part of the season stronger than we have been the last probably 10 games because of the injury side of things. So if we can keep everyone fit, every bit of wood in Ramley, but it's been tough, but we've got through such a difficult time, and we just need to keep momentum going. And that's why I think the people like the Havertz coming back. I think now Gabriel's back. That kind of back line solid again with him and Saliba back there. It's kind of just going. Okay, who is going to lock down the left hand side? But I could see Timber going left genuinely, and then if Ben can stay fit,
Ben White,
come on the right, because I love Ben White. I love it.
Yeah,
He's such a good player.
I do, yeah.
And I think, but Timber's just been unbelievable, and we've had people on the left. But if Calafiori comes back, fine, no problem. Go left, keep Timber right. But we've got some good options. But I think we're just going right. Who's the back four? Is ever changing. He's still got Mascara as well. When he comes back from that unknown weird kind of injury. So we have got some really good backups, and he's been playing really well. When he come in and covered. So we've got a lot to look forward to, I think. But the Mark Gahey thing was just found it really interesting that whole Arsenal kind of have to be in the mix because of the kind of player he is, and there's a lot of people after him. But I
think because of when we played them in the cup, and he obviously scored. He scored. He didn't really celebrate, and then afterwards, like all the players are going up to him and like all talking, it's just one of them that just sort of adds to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a funny one, mate. I mean, but they all know each other. They all play, England, all that kind of stuff, and but they probably will go and you should come here, But it is a case of he wouldn't be starting, but he'd be playing a lot of games just because of the amount of injuries we get. He would probably play a fair amount, but he's not going to get the type of games and stature I think he probably would get at Liverpool. Unfortunately, I see that being the most sense going that way. But Josh, obviously being father-in-law, has he mentioned, I think, with him at all?
Well, only the big, in the summer. There was all the talk, and he was looking forward to, potentially having him. But I think now he probably sees him going to Man City out of anyone.
It's only a Man City if it's now. I think it's
Yeah.
Stones. I think because they need him now. I don't think they want him. It sounds weird. I don't think they want him as much in the summer. Maybe they just take a bit of the same situation with us. Do you want to be a squad player there or here, or be the main man at Liverpool? Realistically, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
any
but
other kind of? Sorry, go on.
again, I just sort of he's on the left side, and that's Van Dijk, and so
Yeah.
unless and the thing is with Liverpool, probably more so than some of the other teams, they kind of seem to prepare more for when players go.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So I think they kind of know that Van Dijk's probably going to go maybe at the end of this season. He's what 33 now, is he? Something like that.
He's getting out. He's gone. I think you're right, Josh.
He's he's won a lot with Liverpool. Is he going to go to like Saudi and earn a few quid out there for a couple of seasons? I don't know. But I feel like that was the talk that like my father-in-law was saying that he was going to be going.
He's 34. Just looked it up.
But yeah, 34. Yeah, so he's in the sort of twilight of his career, as it were.
Very much so. But you say that, then just to touch on obviously some of the FA Cup results. Obviously, Danny Welbeck, 35 years old. What an absolute banger! Did you see the goal?
Great finish.
Yeah, brilliant goal.
It's just funny to just see the likes of Man United.
He's scored against United more than any other team, I think, since he left them.
Some crazy
10 goals he scored.
I think that's unreal.
Against Man United.
Fair play. I love that. I mean, talking through, was there any kind of major results that you looked at over the weekend and thought, oh, there was a couple of upsets, obviously. Palace was the big one, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was the big upset in that, wasn't it? But
yeah,
well,
I mean,
and Wrexham
as well.
Wrexham beat
Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest. That was quite a bit of an upset, I suppose. But
I mean, if they can beat them, I'm sure we can beat them at the weekend. So it ended 3-3, and they went to penalties, and it was 4-3 on penalties. On that game,
I think I know obviously United played another Premier League team, but I just love seeing United struggle. And that's actually another thing that that my father-in-law, obviously again being a Liverpool fan, they absolutely despise Man United. So it's he says I'd rather see them like lose and potentially go down or whatever. Not that that's going to happen necessarily this season, but they're like last season he was loving it.
Nice, it's great, mate.
Yeah,
I like the fact because obviously they're just, I think they're one behind us, aren't they, for the FA Cup? How many we've got? We've got 14, and they're from 13. So it just goes, well, they're safe for another year. Do you know, out of interest, FA Cup question, do you know who the third highest is? There was actually three teams who joined.
It's Chelsea.
Chelsea's one.
Yeah.
On 8, did you say?
On 8, yeah. So it's quite a big gap, really.
Liverpool.
Liverpool the other, and I wonder, it'd be interesting to surprised by the third.
Is it Villa or someone like that, or Everton, or no?
It's our closest rival.
Tottenham.
Yeah. Spuds.
Yeah, it must be going back some, because it goes Tottenham Hotspur, then City, Villa on 7, Newcastle 6. But it's such an old competition. Obviously, it must have been half decent at some point. But this has been going back a long time. So this is all time kind of record. But we'll I love that we're top of that as well. That's quite something, And I know we were quite big on that with Arsene Wenger was always an FA Cup man, wasn't he? He loved to win the FA Cup, so which is really good. But I think I'm fairly feeling confident again after the last week. I know Portsmouth was, I think should have been winning. Liverpool disappointing, but going forward, want to smash Chelsea. Then obviously not Forest. It should be a straight up win. Inter Milan, it's going to be one I'd love to win. So it's in how we kind of rotate players as well.
I think it would be a massive statement, wouldn't it, if we went, because it's at the San Siro, obviously.
Yeah.
If we went there and won, I think that's a massive statement in the Champions League.
That would be huge. Yeah,
that's big.
I think everyone's watching us. Being top of both leagues at the moment, everyone's like, again, like you said, Josh, many times, everyone's FA Cup final basically, or whatever it is, and I'd be interested to see how European teams play because they're a very defensive team typically, and obviously last time out they beat us, which I mean it didn't have
Yeah.
too much to reflect how we progressed, but
Yeah,
I mean,
we
they
played
are, but
well that
they
game
are
as
slightly
well. Yeah.
different now,
yeah,
aren't they? Inter, they are slightly different. I mean, you think of that. I think was it the other semi-final of,
it was his last year. You're talking
or
about.
was it the quarter-final where they played Barcelona and it was like 3-3 in both games, and
Oh
you know what I
yeah,
mean, it was just
yeah,
goals galore, and
Yeah.
it was
yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that was
and you know,
classic.
but the thing is, with over the last say 10 years, they've always been there or thereabouts, haven't they? They've always got into the latter stages,
Yeah,
and
I mean
you
they've
know
lost two
they're a big
games.
team. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think they must have, by looks at lost the last two games. I'd have to look at who it was, but they're sitting in the top eight. They're six, just above Real Madrid. So they're not in a bad spot at all. They probably will. I imagine they could go automatically through, but there's quite a few teams on 12 points, including Liverpool, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, and then Inter. So there's quite close that little bit, and then Dortmund, Tottenham are not far behind, which is crazy actually. Um, but yeah, I think we're flying high. We've got a game kind of 3 point buffer still. We've got
mm,
18 points. Bayern's under us because obviously we beat them at 15. So we've still got, we should easily qualify. I would like to think in the top eight so we can just breeze through
yeah.
and then go from there. So that's it's looking positive,
Mm.
from that side of things, guys. But yeah. Any questions for the team or the group, everyone? I think we've
No,
covered most things, really. I think we've done it to death. No, that's cool. But I think we're reaching our thing. We've missed obviously Vinny and Vinny's insightful questions because he does love our question, Vinny. I did ask him to text me, but he's obviously struggling where he is. But we'll see how we go. Obviously, with the results that we predicted on next Monday. We've got myself and Josh. Obviously, you've got a game on Wednesday, Josh. So I don't know what you want to do about that because obviously we are
yeah, I'm not too
playing.
sure.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll have to push it to a different day, maybe.
Different day, or just have a week off, or I don't know.
Maybe we could do that if you want, but we could definitely push it, and then it might be a case we could either do a day after or we just leave it to next week because it's going to fall like that now and again these odd days, isn't it? Because the
Yeah,
games
yeah.
have been all over the place. But for anyone who is obviously watching, we've got 6 people in there. Before we close off and end the stream, we've got 30 seconds. Get a question in if you want, but we appreciate you following and watching. Obviously, remember to subscribe. Can't even say it. Like. And obviously share it. Arsenal fans, we want you to get involved. Very much the focus of all of this is to build community and have people we can speak to, like Josh, Alex, myself, Vinny. Normally you're hearing from 3 or 4 different people each week about their thoughts, their opinions. Sometimes we agree, sometimes you don't. But obviously, it's all part of it. It's all part of football. We don't want to just finish at the game. We want to talk about it in the pub after. This is our, online pub, if you like to chat to your mates. So if you want to get involved, please do. And we appreciate when anyone who jumps on and asks us questions. But obviously, I think we're there, boys. I think we can round it off. I think it's another decent week, a good chat.
Yep.
And obviously,
Good
what I'll
chat.
do, we'll finish up with the classic outro, as you know I love, and I will play it out. And obviously, I'll stay on, boys. We'll chat after, and then we'll end it there. But thanks very much, guys. Thanks for listening as always. I'll see you in the next one. Come you guys.